Traffic and Refuse Committee will come to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Moore. Alderwoman Murphy.
Here.
Alderman Kotar.
Here.
Alderwoman Martin.
Here.
Alderwoman Boyd. Alderman Bosley.
Here.
Alderwoman Middlebrook. Chairman Boyd.
Present.
5 present, you have quorum.
Okay, please excuse the Alderwoman from the second due to necessary absence. I'll entertain a motion on approval of the minutes for October 29th.
I move to approve the minutes of the October 29th meeting of the Streets, Traffic, and Refuse Committee.
Second.
Been moved and second. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Moore. Alderwoman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Kotar.
Aye.
Alderwoman Martin.
Aye.
Alderwoman Boyd. Alderman Bosley.
Aye.
Alderwoman Middlebrook. Chairman Boyd.
Aye.
5 aye votes.
Okay, first board bill up is Board Bill number 153, sponsored by Alderwoman Clark Hubbard.
Okay.
You recognize.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Board Bill 153 is a proposed ordinance that will authorize the honorary street name Malik and Deborah Ahmed Way, which shall begin at the intersection of Simple Avenue and Page and northeast on Page Boulevard to the intersection of Arlington Avenue and Page Boulevard. And I ask your consideration and pass this do pass.
Okay, any questions from the committee? Alderwoman Murphy.
No questions.
Alderman Kotar.
I guess I'll ask the obvious question. I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to this. Who are Malik and Deborah Ahmed Way? Who
Mal-
are they?
Malik and Deborah Ahmed are the CEO and founders of Better Family Life.
Oh, okay. Oh, great. Nothing further.
Okay, Alderwoman Martin.
Yeah, no, that's impressive, so no questions.
Alderman Bosley.
Make it brief. I know they will appreciate this. They've been doing a lot of work in the community for a long time. So, good job.
Thank you.
No further questions or comments.
Okay, only question is, do you have a petition?
I do have a position. I can go get it or have it emailed to the,
Okay, will you send it to us?
yes,
Okay.
I have it emailed to the,
All right, because, we don't want to pass board bills out without the petition.
okay, I'm sorry.
So-
Yes, we do
So
have the
just for
signed
the record,
petition.
If we don't have it by the time it gets perfected, then we may run into a roadblock.
They have it. They absolutely have it. I have a copy of it.
All right, I trust you, I believe you. I'll entertain a motion on Board Bill 153.
I move that we adopt Board Bill 153 with the due pass recommendations.
Second.
It's been moved
Previous
and
roll.
second. Hearing no objection to previous roll, Board Bill 153 comes out of committee with due pass recommendation.
Thank you.
Okay, next board bill we will do is Alderman Gunther. Okay, Board Bill 139, introduced by Alderman Gunther.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the Transportation Committee.
What committee?
Streets.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
my bad,
I
yeah,
thought
Streets
maybe I was
Committee.
on the wrong committee.
Streets Committee, my bad, yeah. Yeah, I was just looking through notes and read transportation, so, anyway, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Board Bill 139 is to vacate a section of land. The Cherokee residential home, which is a home for people with severe disabilities, has a property on the 3400 block of Cherokee. They have a front porch that they went in to get a building permit to rebuild the porch, and then they were told that part of their land, or part of their porch, was actually built on city-owned property. There's about a 10-foot sidewalk in front of the property, and so they are asking to vacate a 5-foot strip of that sidewalk in order to be able to rebuild a structure that is already built on the property. So it went through the zoning and went through all the appropriate sort of areas, and so we are asking that they vacate a 5-foot strip from the corner of Missouri and Cherokee for about 115 feet down, so that they can rebuild their porch and correct the boundaries of the parcel of property. So with that, I will take any questions.
Okay, Alderwoman Murphy.
No question, just a comment. I had this happen too, where an alley literally ran in their front yard, according to the books, and they had to go through. So long as they went through everything, it's fine, yeah.
Yeah, I've never.
But I know how this can be very confusing.
Yeah.
Alderman Coulter.
No questions.
Alderwoman Martin.
No questions.
Alderman Bosley.
No questions.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion on Board Bill 139.
I move that we adopt Board Bill 139 with a due pass recommendation.
Second?
It's been moved in second. Previous row. Hearing no objection, previous row 139 comes out of committee with a due pass recommendation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome. Next board bill up for consideration will be Board Bill 137, introduced by Alderwoman Middlebrook. I'm going to handle that for her. However, I'm going to ask that, where's the gentleman from MSD?
We got
Okay.
a couple guys.
You want to state your name, who you're with, and give us a brief description of what we're doing with Board Bill 137?
Yes, my name's
Have
Jeff.
something to hand out too?
Yeah, I do have some
Okay.
handouts of the petitions. Here's some other handout. Might be
Lots of stuff, lots of good stuff. Okay.
this might help. Can I have one of those? Thank you. Yes. You want one, please? Yeah.
Thank you. So I can share or, look at it quickly and.
Pass them down? Okay. There you go. Okay.
So, my name's Jeff Meyer. I'm with MSD, and we are proposing to build four detention basins in the Baden neighborhood, and we are asking to vacate some streets, the Frederick Lane, petition 6874, Tilley's Avenue, 6875, and 6876, part of Gilmore Avenue. So we are proposing to build detention basins and some storm sewers to route stormwater flow, to take flow off the existing sewers that are in that area. We've had basement backups, and we want to take the stormwater, some of the stormwater, off of the existing sewers and route them to this detention basin, and then that way it'll alleviate some of the backups and street flooding. Right now, the residents have their sewers that are connected to the storm sewers in that area, and so we want to take some of that flow off and route it to these detention basins so that we can reduce building backups in that area. So we're currently scheduled, we're anticipating that maybe this summer we would like to start the project. So we have already, MSD has already purchased some of the properties in this area, and some of the streets have already been closed off. We've already built fences around our proposed detention basin sites. So we'll have some plantings there. We'll have native grass plantings, and we'll keep the areas fenced off. We're going to provide lighting around the basins. So in this project, we're doing a lot of work within the city, and this project's estimated to be around $16 million. So it'll be a benefit to the community to help the stormwater issues that are in the area.
Okay, let's see if any committee members have any questions. Alderwoman Murphy.
Yes, so this is exposed, this is not underground or anything?
No, it's above ground.
It's
It's an
above ground.
above-ground basement. It's at the lowest, it's at the lower part of the watershed, so we'll build
Okay.
storm sewers up into
Right.
the watershed, and it'll collect the storm water, and it'll take it to this basin, and the basin will fill up,
Right,
and it'll slowly release back into the existing sewer, so it kind of
get you.
holds back the water.
I get you. And it will be landscaped all the way around, you said?
Yeah, they'll have
Okay.
landscaping on it. We've actually had neighborhood meetings with the residents and got their input, and we've reached out to folks, and and so they requested the wrought iron fencing, they requested the lighting, and so we're going to have the native plantings, and MSD will actually maintain the basins.
Oh, well, that's good. So the neighborhood's aware of this and pleased with the project?
Yes, the neighborhood's aware of it. We've had several neighborhood meetings. We will have another neighborhood meeting when we go to construction. We'll bid out the project, and whoever the successful contractor is, we'll have another neighborhood meeting so that the folks can ask questions of the contractor. So you'll see a little bit more heavier traffic in the area when we're under construction.
Now, you said that you still needed to purchase some more of the area. Were there homes there, was going to be my other question?
There were homes there, and they had experienced basement
Flooding,
backups
right.
because, the storm water, their laterals are connected to the existing storm sewers, combined sewers, so when we get rains, it surcharges the sewer and it backs up into their basement. So a lot of those folks experienced basement backup, so we
Sure.
bought a lot of those
Okay.
properties.
Okay, that's all, thank you.
Alderman Coulter.
Thank you, Chairman. Pardon my ignorance, but is this 3 basins?
Yes, actually.
So in the areas in red here?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And so are there homes there? Have you guys are you demoing all the houses?
Yes, that's correct.
Is
We've
that-
already purchased the homes, and we've already demoed those, so they're already vacated. So now and we already have actually fencing around the basins.
Got it.
So it'll be a matter now of, we'll have to remove some of the soil to create, a
To get-
detention area.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
All right, nothing further.
Alderwoman Martin.
Yes, thank you. Is this something that was spurred just by the last flooding, or was this in the works longer?
This has been in the works quite a while. As you know, I don't know if you're aware, but...
If you don't mind, can I
I'm sorry,
stay towards
I'm
the
sorry.
mic?
I get carried away. So MSD is under a consent decree to remove sanitary sewer overflows and do some required work. And so this was part of our consent decree requirement to do this work.
Okay, thank you.
Alderman Bosley.
No questions.
Only question, are there any basins in South St. Louis?
Right, yes. I mean, there are basins all over
To this scale?
Typically, there are basins out there. I mean, we do have some larger basins. Normally, the basins are a little bit smaller, but, right now, our MSD, probably from 2000 on, we require detention basins. So, in other words, if you're building a subdivision, now you have to have detention
Right, no,
basins.
I understand that.
Back then,
I'm just curious, because it sounds like this is foreign to some of my, or new to some of my committee members, and I was just wondering, have you did any of these models of this scale in South St.? It's a yes or no?
no, I mean, not in South, but I mean, we've done them. We've actually built above-ground detention basins in the cold water area up by the airport. We have an 8 million gallon.
I'm just talking about the city of St. Louis.
No, not in the city of St. Louis.
Okay, thank you. Yes. Want to follow up?
But what about, there's one in Carondelet Park, I know that but I mean, I know it's not to the scale.
No, yes,
But you know
there-
what I'm talking about? I'm like across the street from my house where it's got the pole coming out.
Oh, yeah. And I know that the new subdivision
And
that's
that's
built
newer.
where the greenhouse is, there's a big, in part of that, right next door to the
Sure.
Francis's house.
Sorry, not trying to put you on the spot. We're
Sorry,
just
no,
hashing this out
I'm
now.
Sean Hadley. I'm going to help him out a little bit. So the question you're asking about, is there basins down in South City? Not to that magnitude because of the way the watershed falls. I think we've had this discussion before. It's not that we're going into North City and just trying to take over. It's the way of the land and the way the watershed falls. And the reason we're doing this is because, again, these people, these residents have experienced several backups over years.
No,
Not
I'm
just
clear with that. You know, I was just wondering out of curiosity
No.
if there were any or would there be any in the future.
I mean, we're looking at, we look at all the areas and again, there could be something in the future, but right now, these are the ones that we have scaled to go.
Okay, thank you. I'll entertain a motion on Board Bill 137.
I move that we adopt Board Bill 137 with a due pass recommendation.
Second,
Been moved and second.
previous roll.
Hearing no objection, previous roll. Board Bill 137 comes out of committee with due pass recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Next board bill up is Board Bill. I'm gonna go ahead and take my Board Bill 136. Go ahead, John, introduce yourself.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, committeemen. I'm John Kohler with the City of St. Louis Board of Public Service. I'm the Planning and Programming Manager for the Board of Public Service. And today I have a combination of 3 federally funded transportation projects that the City of St. Louis applied through East-West Gateway through a competitive grant program. We did receive funding for 2 congestion mitigation air quality grants and 1 surface transportation program grants. And I'll go through each one and just highlight some of the key components of each project. The first one in the bill is called the 20th Street Multimodal Improvement Project. This is adding a low-stress separated bicycle facility from Market Street on the south to St. Louis Avenue on the north. There's also a stub out that connects the NGA site to the bicycle track. As part of the project, we're going to be upgrading all the sidewalks to be compliant with the American Disabilities Act. We'll add lighting, landscaping, various street trees, some potential rain gardens, and then we're also upgrading all the signals along the project where they'll be interconnected to our traffic management center. We're adding new inlets and storm sewer system to complement the relocation of the curbs. And then finally, we will asphalt mill and overlay the street. Mr. Chairman, would you want me to present all 3 and then open it up?
Would you?
Sure. So the second project is a surface transportation grant on Jefferson Corridor. This runs from Market Street on the south to Cass on the north. It's 1.02 miles. It's a project that supports the NGA development and is phase 1 of Jefferson. A future phase will run alongside and adjacent to the NGA, which is from Cass to Natural Bridge. That'll be a separate board bill. But this first phase involves a complete rehabilitation, reconstruction of Jefferson. It's changing the lane configuration from 6 lanes to 4 lanes. We'll be providing a safer pedestrian buffer setback. We'll have medians, bump outs to improve pedestrian safety, other traffic calming. And we'll also have a significant amount of landscaping, storm sewer, reconstruction, all new sidewalks throughout the whole length, new curbs on both sides and driveway approaches, new bus stops, and working with Bi-State to locate the optimum space for the bus stop. We'll have lighting, pedestrian scale, benches and trash receptacles and other types of street furniture. And the third project is a congestion mitigation air quality. And this is a project that's been sponsored by 3 aldermen of the 22nd, 26th, and 27th wards. They provided the local match to support the federal grant, and it involves a section of Goodfellow from Delmore on the south to Halls Ferry Circle on the north. We're upgrading all the traffic signal controllers and equipment and new infrastructure for traffic. We're adding cameras, pan, tilt, zoom cameras at all the intersections. We're interlinking through fiber optic the whole corridor and tying it back to our traffic management center. And we're also stub out on Dr. MLK and Halls Ferry Road to provide that connectivity to the traffic management center. And that's a quick summary. Any questions that you have, I'd be happy to answer.
Sure. Alderwoman Murphy.
No question. Were all of these contingent upon like that 2080 mix that the third project was?
All the federal jobs require a minimum 20%
20%.
local match, 80 federal. However, the 20th Street had a larger share. There was $5 million in federal, $5.9 million in LCRA annual appropriation of redevelopment revenue bonds. So that was a little over 50% local match. Similar on the Jefferson corridor, that total project was $10.9 million with 7.1 federal and 3.8 through the LCRA revenue bonds. However, the Goodfellow did fit that 20% local match and 80% federal.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Alderman Coulter.
No questions.
Alderwoman Martin.
No questions.
Okay. I know I'm excited about the project that's run through Goodfellow because we desperately need fiber over in those neck of the woods, so that's going to really help us out a lot. So with that, I'll move, since it's my bill, that we pass Board Bill 136 out of committee with a due pass recommendation.
Second.
Previous roll.
Moved in second, hearing no objection to previous roll, 136 comes out of committee, due pass recommendation. Thank you, John.
Thank you very much.
Next board bill, it will be Board Bill 132, sponsored by Alderwoman Tamika Hubbard. She asked me to handle her bill. Her bill also is a honorary street naming for Ms. Karlie Kloss. It will be named Karlie Kloss Way. It will be in the intersection of Washington Avenue and North 16th Street and run east on Washington Avenue at the intersection of Washington Avenue and North 15th Street. Ms. Kloss is a native of St. Louis and is internationally known as a fashion model who has graced the cover of Elle, W, Allure, Vanity Fair, and Vogue. Has named her one of the top 30 models of 2000s. One thing in here that's inspiring is she's providing a free coding camp for young girls 13 to 18 who are interested in computer science and software engineering. She's brought a lot to the city of St. Louis, and the Alderwoman thought highly enough of her to do an honorary street naming. Any questions? Alderwoman Murphy.
No questions. It sounds wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. Alderwoman Martin.
No questions.
I have no questions. I move to pass Board Bill 132 out of committee with a due pass recommendation.
Second and previous roll.
Hearing no objection to previous roll, Board Bill 132 comes out of committee with a due pass recommendation. Okay. Looks like we have gone through all the board bills and resolutions. Okay. The Street Traffic and Refuge Committee is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.